Born into struggle. She was born on a cold winter morning in a small village where poverty was not a condition, it was a way of life. There was no hospital, no electricity, and no promise of tomorrow. Her mother wrapped her in a worn cloth, whispering a prayer instead of a name, hoping the child would survive the night. They named her Amina, a name meaning peace, though peace was something her life would not know for many decades. Amina's childhood was shaped by hunger. Meals were uncertain, shoes were a luxury, and school was a distant dream. By the age of 7, she was already working, fetching water, collecting firewood, and helping her mother wash clothes for wealthier families. She watched other children walk to school with books in their hands, while her hands were cracked and bruised from labor. Her father died when she was 9, leaving the family drowning in debt. Overnight, Amina became more than a child. She became a pillar. She learned early that crying did not change reality. What changed reality was endurance. At 13, she was married off to a man twice her age. Not out of love, but survival. The marriage was harsh. Her husband was not cruel by intention, but life had hardened him. Words were sharp, affection was rare, and expectations were heavy. Amina bore children one after another, each birth stealing a little more of her youth. Still, she endured. She carried water with one child on her hip. She cooked with empty cupboards. She smiled when her heart was tired. At night, when everyone slept, she would sit quietly and ask herself a question she never spoke aloud. Is this all life will ever be? Loss, strength, and silent courage life did not soften with time. It tested her further. By her mid-30s, Amina had buried 2 children. Illness came quickly and left just as fast, taking everything with it. There were no doctors, no money for medicine, only prayers and regret. Grief settled into her bones, but she did not allow it to break her. Her husband grew ill soon after and passed away within a year. Suddenly, Amina was a widow with surviving children and no income. Society looked at her with pity and sometimes blame. Many advised her to give her children away or remarry quickly. She chose neither. Instead, she chose work. She cleaned homes during the day and stitched clothes at night. Her fingers ached, her eyes burned, but she refused to surrender. Slowly, she saved enough to send her children to school. She could not read or write, but she understood the value of education better than most. Years passed. Her children grew. Some succeeded, some struggled, but all remembered one thing clearly. Their mother never quit. In her 50s, when most people expected rest, Amina faced another challenge. Her health declined. Her back curved from years of labor. Pain became a daily companion. Yet even then, she found purpose in helping others, caring for neighbors' children, sharing food when she had little, offering comfort born from experience. People began to notice her strength, not loud or proud, but steady and unshakable. She had lived through poverty, loss, and loneliness, yet bitterness never took root in her heart. Instead, compassion. Peace at last at 70, Amina's life finally slowed. She lived in a small, simple home, surrounded by the echoes of her journey. Her children visited with respect in their eyes. Grandchildren listened wide-eyed to stories of a woman who had faced storms without ever calling herself a victim. For the first time, she felt something unfamiliar: peace. Not because life had been easy, but because she had survived it with dignity. She would sit outside in the evenings, watching the sky change colors, sipping tea with trembling hands. She no longer chased tomorrow. She had earned the right to rest. When asked how she endured so much, she would smile softly and say, "Life tried to break me many times. I simply refused to give it permission." Amina never became famous. She never owned much. But her life became a lesson written in quiet courage, that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it survives silently for 70 years and finally rests in peace. Her journey proved one timeless truth: an unbreakable woman is not made by comfort, but by resilience, and peace is the reward of those who never give up.